For me, the sessions are much more than just doing exercise. It's the combination of the physio, the peer support and the social connection that makes the sessions different from simply doing my exercises on my own at home. They build confidence, help you feel supported and remind you you're not doing it alone.
You know, physio's boring sometimes, the exercise is repetitive and it can be quite lonely. The social aspect also makes it not as repetitive, it makes them much more enjoyable. So Mobilates is making that so much easier to access expert guidance consistently.
Having lived with mobility issues all my life and having been given many a physio plan that I have barely ever followed, I think this is absolutely genius.
It's not just about completing exercises, it's about having the motivation and accountability to keep going, especially on days when things are really difficult. Knowing that I've got a session each week means I'm much less likely to put my physiotherapy off, even when I'm tired or having a challenging day. One of the things I've enjoyed most is how quickly we've developed a sense of community.
They're actually finding doing their physio plans fun, which is just fantastic. It's unknown.
It's a really great environment. It's a really friendly environment to be in. Everybody that's attended has fitted into the group. I always finish a session feeling really, really positive. It's such a good community feel.
We're going to be talking about our Physio Body Doubling sessions today, which is very exciting. It's a brand new initiative with Mobilates, designed by myself and with Alex's support as well. So thank you so much, Alex, for supporting us with this. It's huge and it's new, and I love the fact that we're offering this for our members.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to be involved. I think it's been something that so far has really worked great. We've had a lot of good feedback and hopefully is adding a lot of benefit for members.
So do you want to tell me a bit more about how this runs with Mobilates in terms of what people are getting out of the sessions?
Yeah, absolutely. So the concept of body doubling is really around a group of people coming together to do individual tasks that they need to get done. So in this space, it's around people who've got physiotherapy programs. They come together, they meet on a Thursday and they do their own individual program as part of a group. And the benefits of that, I suppose, are really twofold. Firstly, accountability. A lot of members talk about it's that space. Every week I go and I do my physio exercises. You know, they don't necessarily need to interact with other people unless they want to, although it is quite a nice social group, but it's a reason to go and do your physio exercises. So from accountability perspective, I think that's one of the big things that people get from it. The second thing then really is having myself as a physiotherapist present there. Obviously, it doesn't replace a one-to-one formal physiotherapy assessment and treatment program, but having physiotherapists present can allow people to ask questions, refine things, have somebody to observe form and things like that there. So really having that guidance from a physiotherapist within the sessions is something that I know a lot of people find quite useful. And even those people who are perhaps waiting for surgery or, you know, are in the midst of diagnosis and different things going on, they might come with certain questions that it's nice for them to ask. Having that as part of their Mobilates membership, I think some people have found really, really valuable.
Definitely. From my perspective, having lived with mobility issues all my life and having been given many a physio plan that I have barely ever followed, I think this is absolutely genius. It's going to be such a fantastic way to make sure that our members are doing specific exercises that are really great for them and that are actually designed by physios. It also really works so well with our timetable. So the bits that they're learning through the physio sessions with you are just genius for actually being able to see what we're doing in Mobilates and how that's supporting them with their exercise program. So it's a really good match.
Absolutely. I think it really complements what you guys do, and that's the feedback we get. And I think the other thing as well is people do say that it's actually quite financially, it saves them money and things as well. So for example, when I see somebody and do an assessment with them, we give them a program. If I know I'm not going to see that person again, then I will probably want to see them in 2 to 3 weeks to see how they're getting on and follow up with them and put something in the diary. And we may be flexible on that, but having these body doubling sessions, being able to refer somebody into there allows us to set a program, monitor them every week with that program, you know, within their Mobilates membership, and then book a one-to-one with me again when they're ready. So if they have a flare up, they have things on, things change or symptoms change, anything like that, we can keep tabs on them in the group session. So it really allows people to get so much more out of those one-to-one sessions. And as I say, potentially get those follow-up sessions booked at the right time rather than booking in and saying, well, actually, I haven't had a chance to do what I needed to yet with this, or I could have done with this a bit sooner or whatever. So I think it really does, as you say, fit nicely within that Mobilates model and within that healthcare rehab in general.
Definitely. And it's also such a sustainable way of keeping going with your physiotherapy as well, especially for our members who, a lot of them are on low incomes. They really struggle financially. So this just enables them to access what we all need.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in terms of how this works with Mobilates, our members pay a monthly membership and they're accessing their one-to-one directly with you and paying for that. And then that gives them access to be able to engage with the physio body doubling with Mobilates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's an important gatekeeping from a safety perspective, to make sure that that I know enough about that person to safely have them in the group setting, an opportunity to listen to that person's story and allow them to get the most out of the session. So, for a lot of people, they're coming with pre-packaged programs, so it may just be a one-off screening that we need. But for some people, perhaps they've had some exercises that perhaps aren't working for them, or they started a program, things changed with their health circumstances and they couldn't continue that. So it's a one-off initial assessment with myself under my umbrella, and then I refer the patient into the client into the group session, and then follow-ups, as I say, are as and when needed. We always look to support clients who potentially can't afford fees and things. Follow-ups are priced at an individual rate depending on the duration needed. The longer sessions will obviously cost more than shorter sessions, so it depends what people need in that regard. And if people do want to access the sessions and are struggling financially, we're always happy to chat to those on a case-by-case basis. That one-to-one is, as I say, firstly from a safety perspective, so we know your history, we know what's going on, and we know what's safe to do in the class. Secondly, it allows you to get so much more out of the session, because then we can look at your program and know specifically what we need to emphasize and what we need to do with it going forwards.
And the feedback's been amazing, hasn't it? So we've had others just saying how much they like you, which is it's a bonus, but also that they're actually finding doing their physio plans fun, which is just fantastic. It's unknown.
It's a really great environment. It's a really friendly environment to be in, and everybody that's attended has fitted well into the group. I always finish a session feeling really, really positive. It's such a good community feel to it. So, and some people may come and be like, "Oh, I'm not too bothered about the social side. I just want to be accountable for my exercises." And that's absolutely fine. We sort of check in with you, and if you want to go and do your exercises, stay on camera so we know where you are, we know you're safe. That's absolutely fine. But most people come and they find it's a really friendly setting, and people support each other. That's the biggest thing that I've found with Mobilates, is that nobody sort of suffers in silence with things. People are comfortable sharing things, and everybody will chip in and support on a practical and really positive way with people. So yeah, the feedback has been awesome to hear, not just that people enjoy the session, but also that they feel they're really benefiting from physio in a way they perhaps weren't able to in the past, which I think really comes back to saying, it's not just about the what, it's about the how. So these exercises might be great exercises, but if you don't understand how to do them and how to get the most out of them, or what they're for, or those little tips and tricks, those are the things that make it an effective program for you. So, sometimes it's about fitting the program to the patient. Sometimes it's about fitting the patient to the program. And that's what I think the sessions really, really allow people to do. And that seems to be reflected in the feedback as well.
Definitely. And it's very much a policy in Mobilates is fitting our classes to suit the members.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Liam.